asynchronous na tayo. Ang gagawin niyo po ay maghahanda kayo. You will prepare a index card. Then, you will write down there all the formulas written in Module 2. Okay? I already uploaded Module 2. Chapter 1, Module 2. Okay? Nakita niyo po ba yun?
Yes po, ma'am.
So, you will prepare index card. Any size, any color, kung ano man ang gusto niyo. Write down all the formulas na makikita niyo kay Module 2. Okay? So, before we start, mag-attendance muna ako, ha? Let's take your attendance. First is Adonai,
Present po.
Aguila, Aguilar,
Present po.
Alcantara,
Present po.
Alvarez,
Present po, ma'am.
Angeles,
Present po.
Anorico, Azucena,
Present po.
Barola,
Present po.
Patas,
Present po.
Bizcocho,
Present po.
Kalingasan,
Present po.
Cardenas,
Present po.
Chua,
Present po.
Punag,
Present po.
Miss De Castro,
Present po.
De Villa, Dilaw,
Present po.
Echage,
Present po.
Elauria,
Present po.
Elsa. Nasaan? Mr.
Present po.
Again, Mr. Roma Santa. So, meron po ba ang hindi nabanggit dito? Or lahat naman ay nandito? Okay, so let's start. Okay, so Chapter 1, Module 1 is about energy conversion, which is na-discuss na sa inyo last physics ninyo. Forms of energy, sources of energy, and sources of electricity. You already know what is it, so we will recall it only. Okay, so ayan. Chapter 1, Module 1 is all about the introduction to energy conversion. Okay, so intended learning outcomes. Nakikita niyo po ba ang presentation?
Yes po.
Yes po. Nakikita na.
Okay. So at the end of this module, it is expected that the students will be able to first is describe the general aspects of energy conversion, and then identify the different types and sources of energy and how it is converted from one form to another, or what do we call that? Law of conservation of energy. Okay, so you must have heard that energy conversion from one form to another is a well-known phenomenon. The law of conservation of energy even tells us that the only thing that takes place with energy is the transformation from one form to another. So this means that we can convert electrical energy into heat energy, and also electrical to light energy. Then we also have solar energy, which can be converted to chemical. Then we have potential, it can be converted into kinetic energy, and then gravitational potential can be converted also into kinetic energy, etc. There's many more pa. Okay, so energy conversion is defined as a process where there is a change in energy from one form to another. Okay, so such as the conversion of nuclear energy into heat energy, and then we also have conversion of light energy into heat and thermal energy into work, etc. Okay, so ano ba or what are the different forms of energy? Okay, so energy can exist in various forms. So we have here examples. First is the radiation or radiant energy. Okay, so the radiation from the sun contains energy, and also the radiation from light or fire. So radiant energy uh, comes from sun, light, o kaya naman ay fire. Okay, so more solar energy is available when the radiation is more intense and when it is collected over a larger area. And also, light is the visible part of the radiation. That's why there's a radiation from the sun. Okay, so is radiant energy emitted from the sun? Yes, it is. The sun produces a lot of radiant energy, which is transmitted to Earth as light. Okay, so what you can see from the sun is light, sunlight, but that is a radiant energy. Okay, so the plants convert the electromagnetic energy in sunlight to or into chemical energy for their food through a process called photosynthesis. Okay, so radiant energy is very useful in various forms. Okay, next is we also have chemical energy. So wood and oil contain energy in a chemical form, and the same is true for all the other material that can burn. Okay, so the content of chemical energy is larger. The larger the heating value or the calorific value of the material, of course, the more material we have. Okay, so also animate energy, which is delivered by bodies of human beings and animals, is in essence chemical energy. So furthermore, batteries contain chemical energy. So we have here different types of chemical energy. We have petroleum, photosynthesis, wood or biomass, batteries, cellular respiration, and natural gas. So chemical energy is energy stored in the bonds of atoms and molecules. Okay, so for example, chemical energy is converted to thermal energy when the people burn wood in a fireplace or burn gas or gasoline in a car's engine. So that is a transformation of one energy or one form of energy into another form of energy. Ano? Next, we have the potential energy. So this is, for example, the energy of a water reservoir at a certain height. The water has the potential to fall, and therefore it contains a certain amount of energy. So more potential energy is available when there is more water and when it is at higher height. Okay, so in other words, potential energy is energy that is stored in an object due to its position or condition. Okay? Say for example, this water in a dam having potential energy. Okay? Because the water will fall. And it has height. Okay, so the more water, the more water is available, the more potential energy. Okay? Next is kinetic energy naman. So this is energy of movement. So yun, that's the key word for kinetic energy. Ano? Energy of movement. Okay, so there's motion. Okay, so as in wind or in water stream, the faster the stream flows and the more water it has, the more energy it can deliver. Similarly, more wind energy is available at higher wind speeds and more of it can be tapped by bigger windmill rotors. Again, kinetic energy is an energy of or is energy of movement. Next, we have thermal energy or heat. Okay, so keyword naman kay thermal energy ay heat. Okay, so this is indicated by temperature. So the higher the temperature, the more energy is present in the form of heat and also a larger body contains more heat. Okay, so that is for thermal energy or heat. Again, this is just an recall. We will recall all the forms of energy, etc. So next is the mechanical energy or rotational energy, also called shaft power. So this is the energy of a rotating shaft, and the amount of energy available depends on the flywheel of the shaft. Okay, so also uh, the amount of energy available depends also on the power which makes the shaft rotate. Okay, so that is the mechanical energy. So, uh, how does mechanical energy produce electricity? Okay, so many, let's say generator. Okay, generator needs a mechanical energy so that it can produce or generate electricity. How? Okay, so in a turbine generator, a moving fluid or water, steam, combustion gases, or air pushes a series of blades mounted on a rotor shaft or rotating shaft. So the force of the fluid on the blade spins. So the rotor shaft of a generator rotates also. So the generator in turn converts the mechanical or kinetic energy of the rotor to electrical energy. Okay, so meaning generator needs a mechanical energy so that it can produce or it can um, generate electricity. So that's mechanical energy is an important factor for generators. Next, we have electrical energy. So a dynamo generator and a battery can deliver electrical energy or electricity. So the higher the voltage and the current, the more electricity energy is made available. So we have here an example of a simple circuit. We have a battery or source. Then we have a conductor or yung wire which is connected to the light bulb. When the conductor is connected at the both ends of battery, there goes the flow of electrons or current. Then the light bulb uh, will produce light. So from chemical energy or electrical energy, trans uh, transform to light energy. Okay, so that is an example of transformation of energy from electrical energy. Okay, so after the forms of energy, we have energy sources or sources of electricity. Okay, so we have two types of energy sources. We have the renewable and non-renewable energy sources. Okay, so what is renewable energy sources? So it can be replenished in a short period of time. So in other words, a renewable energy source is a resource of which there is an endless supply because it can be replenished in a short period of time. So, kayang palitan agad or hindi nauubos. Ano, endless supply. Say, for example, we have the sun, no, araw. We also have a wind and also water and geothermal heat. So, that's an example of endless supply or renewable resources. Okay, so we also have biomass. So biomass is a renewable organic material that comes from plants and animals. So biomass contains stored chemical energy from the sun that is produced by plants through photosynthesis. So biomass can be burned directly for heat or converted to liquid and gaseous fuels through various processes. So we have a power plant that uses biomass as the prime mover to generate electricity. Okay, so they will burn biomass, then it will boil water. No, when they burn the biomass, it will boil a water, then the water will produce steam, then the steam will spin the turbine, and the turbine will, when the turbine spins, the generator uh, will operate, it can, and it can generate electricity. Okay, so that is a source of electricity. Ano, the power plant which uses biomass. Okay, so biomass power plant. Okay, next we have also hydropower. Okay, so hydropower meaning it uses water. Okay, so 20% of world's electricity comes from hydropower plants. So hydropower or hydroelectric power is a renewable source of energy that generates power by using a dam or diversion structure to alter the natural flow of a river or other body of water. So from that, uh, we also have hydropower plants. Ano, so what's the process of that power plant? How it can generate electricity. Okay, so from the dam, after they open the gateways, the water will flow very fast. Ano, depends on the height and the flow. Depends on the height and the tawag dito, height and flow of water and kung gaano kadami yung tubig. Ano, so it will flow, then it will spin the turbine, then the turbine is connected to the generator. When the turbine rotates, the generator can produce electricity now. No, can generate electricity. Then, paulit-ulit lang yun. Yung process na yun. And that is how hydropower plant operate. Okay, so hydropower. Next, we have the geothermal. It is harnessed from the Earth's natural heat associated with active volcanoes or geologically young inactive volcanoes still giving off heat at depth. So, yung init ng tubig sa pinakailalim ng lupa. Yun ang gamit to produce electricity. So geothermal power plants use steam to produce electricity. The steam comes from a reservoir of hot water found a few miles or more below the Earth's surface. The steam rotates a turbine that activates a generator which produces electricity. So that is how geothermal energy power plant produce or generates electricity. Ay, hello po. Hello po. Ba't ka mama? Saan po? Nung fiesta po. Ay, ako. Ay, tsaka, ay, nakakasunod. Tsaka, kumusta naman ang bebehan? Ang bebehan niyo po? May bebe. May bebe. Nagpalit na naman ako. Okay. Kaya mo siya lang Kaya mo siya lang. Wow! Hello, wait lang. Sorry ha. At may dumating na faculty. Okay, so ayan. Again, the geothermal power plants uses the heat, few miles or found hot water found a few miles or more below the Earth's surface. So, yung mainit na tubig na yun, it will produce steam. Then, the steam will rotate or pagaganahin niya yung turbine. The turbine will rotate, then the generator will generate ng electricity. Okay? Then, yung steam na yon or yung hot water na yon ay palalamigin, then i-inject ulit siya doon sa pinagkuhanan ng hot water. So, yun yung process niya. So, paulit-ulit lang yun. Ano? And that is how a geothermal power plant produces or generates electricity. Okay? So, that is geothermal. Next, we have wind. Okay? So, wind is also a source of energy. So, converting wind energy to electrical energy. So, alam nyo naman, or nakita na naman kayo ng ganito, di ba? Which is windmill. So, yung blade niyan, so, ang blade is magro-rotate yan. So, the wind will rotate the blade. So rotating generators converts wind energy to electricity. Then after that, transformer increase voltage for transmission to substation. Okay, so yung na-generate na energy or electricity is punta na siya sa substation. Then in substation will increase voltage for transmission over long distances, and then after nun, ita-transform nito sa grid. Yung electricity na na-generate. Then hanggang sa pupunta na yun sa mga distributor like Meralco, Batelec, like that. And then pupunta na sa mga bahay-bahay nyo. Diyan ang gagaling ang mga electricity natin sa bahay. Depende sa lugar nyo. Next, we also have solar. So, collecting sunlight to produce the high temperature heat needed to generate electricity. And it is also called the cleanest source of energy. Okay, so again, from the sun, yung solar radiations niya is i-collect po ng mga solar panels. Yung mga nasa bubong natin dyan, kung meron man kayong solar panels or kayo ay solar powered ng mga bahay-bahay, yayamanin, So, they will use the transformed energy as their source of electricity. Okay. So, that is for solar. Next. Ayan. So, after any renewable energy resources or sources, we also have non-renewable energy sources. So, what is that? So, it comes from sources that will run out or will not be replenished in our lifetimes or even in many, many lifetimes. So, ito yung mga sources na nauubos, that will run out. So, hindi agad-agad kayang palitan. Okay? It cannot be replenished in our lifetime. So, most non-renewable energy sources are fossil fuels. So, we have the coal, petroleum, and natural gas, and carbon is the main element in fossil fuels. And we also know that carbon is not good in our health, and the environment. Excuse me. Okay, so we have the natural gas, made mostly of methane, and methane is a combination of hydrogen and carbon, and it is formed when plants and animals are trapped beneath the sedimentary layers of the earth. Okay, so that is natural gas, and we also have a power plants using natural gas as their prime mover, or uh, they will use to generate electricity. Next, we also have coal. Rock that burns at it as it releases energy, and it is mostly made of chemical element carbon. So coal-fired plants produce electricity by burning coal in a boiler to produce steam. The steam produced under tremendous pressure flows into a turbine which spins a generator to create electricity, and the steam is then cooled, condensed back into water, and returned to the boiler to start the process over. So this is an example of a coal-fired power plant. This one, no. So again, yung coal, they will burn the coal, it will boil the water, the boiled water will produce steam, the steam will rotate the turbine is then connected to a generator, it will generate electricity, then it will go to transmission lines na. Okay, the water which is boiled will then cooled again no, into a condenser cooling water, then it will go back to the river or kung saan nanggaling yung tubig. Then the process will repeat over and over again. Ano? So, paulit-ulit lang yun. Ganun lang po yung ginagawa. Ano? So, lahat naman kayo nakakita na ng mga ng coal. Ano? Uling. Nakita na kayo ng ganon. Okay, so alam niyo na ano. So, we have diesel naman. So diesel is an electric power generating station in which the chemical energy of diesel is converted into electrical energy is known as a diesel power plant. So in other words, the diesel power plant is a power generating plant in which diesel engine is used as the prime mover for the generation of electrical energy. So we have here an example of a diesel power plant which is in Polillo Island in the Philippines. Okay, so uh, many industrial facilities uses diesel power plants. Ano? So we have large buildings, institutional facilities, hospitals, and electric utilities. Okay, so they have diesel generators for backup and emergency power supply. Okay, so this is usually used as a backup or emergency power supply only. Ano, because diesel is very uh, excuse me. So, di ba si diesel is napakamahal niya, very, ang tawag dito, very mahal. So, they will also use it for backup only, like hospitals. Ano, di ba sa hospital, hindi pwede na basta mawawala ng kuryente kasi meron doon mga kumbaga, kuryente na lang yung bumubuhay. So, hindi pwede na mawawalan ng kuryente kasi alam niyo na kung ano kayo hinatnan. Ano? So, they uses diesel power plant as backup ano, or emergency power supply. Then we have here nuclear. So, ang heat source ng isang nuclear power plant is a nuclear reactor. So, nuclear power plants are a type of power plant that use the process of nuclear fission in order to generate electricity. They do this by using nuclear reactors in combination with the Rankine cycle, where the heat generated by the reactor converts water into steam, which spins a turbine and generator. So, ganun lang ulit yung process niya. Ano, kagaya lang ng sa natural gas, same as the diesel, coal-fired power plants. Okay? So, dito nga lang, yung pinanggagalingan ng heat is from nuclear reactor. Okay? So, the nuclear reactor will be the source of heat so that they can convert water into steams. Then the steam will spin the turbine, and the turbine, pagaganahin niya naman yung generator to generate electricity. So this is an example of a nuclear power plant sa ibang bansa po. Ano? And dito sa Pilipinas, we have the nuclear power plant at Bataan. So ito po yun. Ano, yan yung actual na nuclear power plant sa Bataan, which is not operating naman. So sayang lang. Ano? Hindi naman nagamit. Next. Okay. So ayan. Wait lang. So that's the different energy sources. Ano, renewable energy sources and non-renewable energy sources. So, si non-renewable energy sources is meron siyang disadvantage. Ano? Non-renewable energy resources releases harmful greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. That is creating the greenhouse effect, which causes global warming. So that is an a factor why we have uh, global warming. Yung mga non-renewable energy sources na yan. Okay? And it also lead to habitat destruction. So that's the disadvantage of using non-renewable energy sources na hindi naman maiwasan because we're using electricity. We need electricity every day, right? So ayan, last one is the conservation of energy. So lastly, let's understand the law of conservation of energy to further strengthen your fundament. Ayan. So, ito yung main point. This is the main point of the conservation of energy. So, the conservation of energy is the principle that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another or transferred from one object to another. So, please note this. Yung naka-highlight na yan ng red, that is the most important uh, points in conservation of energy. So the energy transformation is applicable to all types of energy, such as kinetic, potential, light, heat, sound, nuclear, gravitational potential energy, etc. So this transformation would occur again and again till the time that resource is present there. So hanggat mayroong resource na nandiyan, mangyayari at mangyayari ang transformation ng mga energy. Okay, so the friction effect and the air pressure are the factors which can affect the transformation to some extent. Okay, so we have your example of transformation of energy from one form to another. So let's say we have a chemical here. Chemical energy, let's say fuel, okay, gas or diesel. It is converted into electrical energy, then converted to kinetic energy, which is, let's say, fuel converted to kinetic, which is used by the vehicle. Also, chemical energy converted to electrical, converted to kinetic kasi meron na tayong mga electric vehicles, right? Then we also have chemical energy converted into electricity, then converted to light energy and sound and light energy. Right? So, araw-araw niyo yung na-encounter, pagbubukas yun ng ilaw, meron na agad yung transformation of energy. Galing sa electricity or electrical energy, naging light energy naman siya. Or naging sound and light kasi gamit sa TV. Then we also have chemical energy converted to mechanical. Then we also have chemical energy converted to energy to work. Say for example, food, kinain ng tao, naging energy natin to, lakas ng katawan. Sumakapag, so tayo ay nakakalakad, nakakapag-aral, punta sa work. Kasi tayo ay nag-process ng chemical or ng foods. Kaya tayo may energy. So, ibig sabihin, araw-araw is nararanasan natin yung transformation of energy. Or yung pagko-convert ng one form of energy to another form of energy. Or yung tinatawag natin conservation of energy. So, that's all for today. Thank you and
Happy learning!
happy learning. So, ayan, yan po yung ating introduction to energy conversion. Okay, so that's the end of chapter 1, module 1. So, yung module 2, na-i-upload ko na yon. Again, you will prepare a
Video presentation.
no, not video presentation. Grabe ka. Kasi simula lang
Role
with the
play.
presentation agad.
Role
No,
play.
you will prepare a
Role play.
index card. Then you will write all the ang hirap mag-English ba? Oy, you will prepare index card, then you will write all the what ang hirap mag-English. Isulat nyo lahat ng mga makikita nyo dun na formulas. All the formulas that you can see in your module 2, write it on your index card, okay?
At may subtitle.
Kaya nga po. Hey! Ay, may pa hey.